Welcome to Creating ComicsGate Live. This is Ratan Glory. I am joined today by Mr. Adam Post. How are you doing, sir?
Adam Post is doing great, and I think from now on I'm going to refer to myself in third person. It's the first time I did that, but I'm going to start doing that. I think that's another thing I saw you.
I saw you mention that you might be doing that, and you know what? For you, it works.
It's appropriate.
For the average person, it's just annoying as hell. But
you got to be exceptional. Adam Post thinks that as well.
Yes.
Mitchell, what's happening, you crazy bastard? It's about time you got here.
Yeah, Mitchell is a rock star.
Very cool.
This guy, he is a tremendous CG supporter. Always great to have him in the chat.
Love it. It's all about the chat.
That's right.
That's what we're here for.
I saw you. I got an email from your campaign today, and I think it's absolutely outstanding. It's outstanding. I'm going to bring up that update.
Cool.
Here.
Yep, because you're one of our backers, and
that's right.
I did the email. I had been planning to send this email for about a week, but it's a little complicated because there's secret links to multiple perks and all that other stuff. And the idea of the email was to let anyone know, first of all, our books are all done. So College of the Dead Book 1, the art book for Book 1, the Ash Can for Book 1, it's all complete. But all of the books are also done for College of the Dead Graduation Day. This book for this campaign, which is going to ship June 2020, the Ash Can book, which is a making of book of this campaign, and the art book is done, and the multiple variant covers are done. So everything's like complete.
This guy is a professional, ladies and gentlemen.
Professional. Well, just because I get if I get paid for it, that makes me a professional.
I absolutely think that's true.
That's what they told my sister anyway. Then she got arrested.
This whole idea of having to work for some soulless corporate entity to be called a professional, if you get paid to do work on no matter what it is, you're a professional.
They actually got into Edwin Boyette back in the day when there was some communication, was after the war campaign guys and mocking them for vestige, saying like, well, you're not really professionals. And back before I was blocked the first few or 3 or 4 times or whatever it was. And then I said, you had to block them back because they're just up to schemes and scams over there, Edwin and that crew. But I wrote back to him like, no, you're a professional. There's a dictionary definition. If you Google it, dictionary definition, if you get paid for what you're doing, you don't have to have a full-time office and a full-time staff or anything like that. You act in a way that's responsible, and you deliver and you keep your promises, and especially if you make money doing it, absolutely you're professional. But for me, what I wanted to start trying to bring to ComicsGate is some free shipping. So I'm not really able to do a lot of that yet. But I can tell you that, if for anybody that buys College of the Dead Book 1 or Book 2, or any one of these books, we can add in any of the other books for free, for shipping. Anyway, at least. So any other, like it could be like 5 other books, 2 other books, 10 other books, whatever it is. Those books will be for free shipping. There's no additional shipping charge on them.
I think this is one of the smartest, most customer service oriented things I've seen anybody do on a campaign. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, the truth is the order processing is going to be a little bit hectic. It's going to take a little extra more work. To keep track of, because I have now 3 different versions of College of the Dead 2, because there are 3 different covers. an art book, an ash can, and 3 other versions. So there's like 8 different product codes, and then some of them are sets and things like that. But it's not that bad. If we're in the
Right.
business of selling books, and we're in the business of selling comics, selling books, we have to make it as easy as possible to order from us.
Right.
So that's my first step towards free shipping. At least offer free shipping to everyone who's backed the book already. So what I've just told people is, go ahead and email me if you didn't get the email with special secret links and stuff like that. And I'll email anybody the links that they need so they can order, you know what? I did want to get that prequel book or that other. Sometimes I've added like 1 or 2 new products since the campaign
Yeah,
started.
exactly. And I think this will likely become a standard feature
I think
for other campaigns.
To the extent possible, everyone will do it. They just have to, like, I have some more experience than some other people do in terms of production and some on the order fulfillment side. So I already kind of know how I'm going to manage this. And I don't recommend to other people to do it, to make promises unless you're sure of how you're going to be able to keep them. It's not that difficult, but there's some advanced thinking
There's
about it.
extra work. I mean, it does open. I guess it opens the door for mistakes, and you might have to eat a little money here and there.
Yeah, there could be some mistakes. I think, here or there, but that's also just kind of part of the game. So yeah, I want to do that, and I think there's more we can do as publishers, and I'm looking into stuff actively, some other ideas of things we can do to just make even a better customer experience, and also put the customer in a position where it's like, all right, listen, if you're going to pay $25 for a graphic novel, let's get you, and you're willing to buy another one, let's get you the thing without extra shipping at least.
I think that's it. It just really, I got the email and I was really impressed with it because you're thinking about the customer, and it's, one of the biggest concerns for ComicsGate is how do we get these shipping costs manageable? How do we bring that down a little bit and try to make it easier for people to support more projects? Because every time you've got to spend that $10-15, and if it's international, sky's the limit on that.
Yeah,
that's another project that you could have backed.
Yeah.
So finding ways to limit that.
The other problem too, as a publisher, it's not like the shipping is going in your pocket and you're getting rich off of it.
No, of course not.
It's really just friction. It's friction in the process. There is a way to address it. I know how to do it, and I'm going to work on it a little bit. And people then just are going to have to think that I know what I'm talking about and that I'm trustworthy. But I think we can do it. We can do some combining of orders. That's one of the advantages that we have in ComicsGate is, for example, a lot of my customers are, anybody who bought one of my books probably bought Cyberfrog or any of the other, like Death Sworn, any of the other Monster MD, any of the other popular titles. They don't even have to be genre similar. Even just like titles that are popular within the ComicsGate world. So if there's a lot of crossover with those, the ultimate level of organization would be shipping orders together.
Right.
It would be, why can't I ship my book along with Professor Geek's Tales from the Stacks when he is ready to ship, if the timing is right? The answer is we can do that, but I have to coordinate it. So I'm working on that a lot, as much as I can this week, and we'll see what I can put together for us. I saw you did a tweet on this. Oh yeah, no. The thing is, you're absolutely right. The thing is, we're charging too much for shipping. Even $10 domestic, it's necessary, but it's too much. I want to see I want to see zero. I want to see that we're charging zero for shipping for the cheapest tier of one graphic novel, zero shipping, like Brian Polito is doing. He charges $26 for the graphic novel, zero shipping domestic, but his average backer rate is more than $100. Well, how the hell is that possible? Because since he makes it easy for people to buy from him, they do add on a lot of other items. So you can kind of make the numbers work.
So he's factoring that in. He's like, I know on average, I'm going to win on this.
Yeah, it's cost of customer acquisition. So maybe even if you buy it $26 with no shipping on the first time, the next time around, history's proven that guy's going to spend maybe $75 or $100.
Right.
Why lose the customer, especially when it's so much. Once you get to 400 or 500 units when you're printing them, the extra copy is like 25% of the cost of the average copy in terms of printing. So that the numbers really work in your favor as a publisher when you get to scale, when you do more volume. Absolutely. I saw you were tweeting about this earlier, Eastman and Bisley.
Yeah, I dropped a video. I dropped a video about it, and I was really curious. You have a wealth of knowledge, and I really appreciate your willingness to share that knowledge with people. You use your platform to try and help people and educate them about Indiegogo and running these campaigns.
For sure.
But this was a massive. I feel like this is somebody trying to kind of cash in on a trend of crowdfunding. And what they've done, it's not a crowdfunding campaign at all. It's just a store. This campaign, it doesn't have any stretch goals. It doesn't have any excitement. It's just, here's a bunch of product that may or may not already exist. The fan doesn't feel like they're actually helping bringing something into the world. They're making it happen, and there's no stretch goal incentives here either. So this is basically a crowdfunding storefront, is all it is. And I think
Kevin Eastman does have a storefront. I remember looking at it because he was on Sweetcast channel, and that's Kickstarter, huh? Because I'm trying to search this and I can't find it on Kickstarter.
It's Indiegogo.
Oh, it's on Indiegogo?
Yeah, they went with Indiegogo, and that's, to me, it's just so disappointing because
maybe it was boring looking, so I thought it was Kickstarter.
Yeah, they obviously missed. They don't get it. They don't get what makes crowdfunding exciting. They missed the mark completely because the whole thing about crowdfunding is that added layer of fan engagement and excitement that a campaign brings to the table.
Oh my God. All right, here it is. Kevin Eastman's Totally Twisted Tale. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Rated R Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, that didn't get funded. This is different. Yeah, he's an interesting guy, Kevin Eastman.
Oh yeah, well, I think he's already. I mean, my understanding is that he lost quite a bit of money with mistakes he made with the Turtles and trying to start a publish.
We all make money. We all lose money. Yeah, he funded Tundra back in the day. I remember those days.
Right, it was Tundra, and he just he made the mistake of hiring friends and or family instead of the right people for the job. And
well, also, they were like a high-end creative books. They weren't. The marketability wasn't considered. The creativity was considered, and that was a deliberate choice. Obviously, it's not like he accidentally published whatever, 200-page color graphic novels that were just some singular creative vision that had no potential beyond the graphic novel to just tell an interesting story as a comic. So, I mean, some of that stuff is to be on one level applauded if it's just sort of like a patron of the arts kind of thing. But
it doesn't help anybody if you can't sustain, though. It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't unless, look, there are people that subsidize work. He could be publishing as a nonprofit or something if he wanted to.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this does look a little. It looks a little bit two-dimensional.
It's a store. No, literally, this is no different. Your experience as a fan would be no different if you were buying this off of Amazon or eBay. And that is, what's the point? Why are you? This is a fake crowdfunding campaign, in my opinion. It, and I think they took the opportunity to tap into this trend, this excitement, but they failed to get the point. They failed to understand what makes it exciting.
All right,
this is a problem.
This says get the latest from the co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They don't even exclusive signed copy of Kevin Eastman's Totally Twisted Tales, along with a pack of cool collectibles. Clover Press exclusive cover for Kevin Eastman's Total, signed by Kevin Eastman. Kevin is nice exposure to dark depravity, insane minds of what is a graphic novella?
Yeah, it's just a storefront, and it disappoints me. I don't think, and on the flip side of that, you've got somebody
Well, Simon Bisley.
who absolutely gets it.
I mean,
And
everybody
that's
should know. Everybody's got to know who Simon Bisley is.
yeah, yeah, of course. They've got the name. It's a good product. They have a good product. They just don't understand crowdfunding. Now, this is a guy who does. Todd McFarlane understands what crowdfunding, why it works, why it's special.
Yeah, he's very customer focused. Your boy Zach did a great video where he was talking about this, and he referenced. I haven't seen it yet, but he referenced a video that was an interview that Todd McFarlane did talking about how he got into the toy business, and it just sounded like a really, really great video. So he is a hell of
Yeah.
a businessman, Todd McFarlane.
He's always been that. And I think, what impresses me is that he didn't just go into crowdfunding and be like, it's going to be like a store. He understands the terminology. He understands why it's exciting to people.
Yeah.
That you're not just buying a toy. You could buy a Spawn toy at a store. You're helping bring this toy into existence because you're backing it. And he understands that the difference between the two. And he understands stretch goals. There are stretch goals at the 1 million mark.
Did you see his reaction video? It was very cute. His reaction video to 1 million.
So great, dude. Yeah, it's really good. So, and then he's got another stretch goal set up here for 1.2 million. So the man, he understands people are excited by the fact that they put in an initial investment, and over time, as this campaign grows, they're going to get more out of that initial investment. That's the excitement of crowdfunding, in a way. It gets people, and then people want to promote your project for you.
Yeah, but because
what motivation does anyone have to promote the Eastman project?
One thing I will say about stretch goals, and stretch goals are a great part of crowdfunding. It's an amazing advantage because as success is accomplished for the project creator, the creator is extending the benefit to other people, either more pages of a comic book, or Todd McFarlane's doing like extra hands or heads or optional stuff. But at the same time, I've seen campaigns that get heavily damaged because they don't understand what they're offering is impractical. So the book they may say, we're going to do this book hardcover. Well, like Vinny even did his book hardcover. So
right.
Vinny calculated the shipping, I'm sure, for the hardcover. I already talked to him about that. He knows he can handle it, but I'm sure he's well aware he's going to be paying quite a bit extra money for that.
For sure.
And there was a friend of mine who did something similar. He published on Kickstarter a book called Sullivan Sluggers, 8 years ago now, a long time ago. And he started making promises, that was Mark Smith, about how the book would be oversized, hardcover, extra packaging and stuff. And he just assumed that it would be okay. It wasn't okay.
Right. No, it's not.
As a crowdfunding person for myself, I almost put stretch goals into College of the Dead. I held off on it. Hey, Shinto, what up? Hey, Skits. But I didn't do stretch goals on my campaign, even though I definitely see the value in it, because I just want to make sure that everything goes perfectly. You know what I mean? So but I do think that once you start to get a relationship with your audience, like Todd McFarlane knows he's got thousands of people who know who he is and are interested in him. Kevin Eastman, though, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he knows what people think of him or if there are that many Kevin Eastman fans. I mean, but you know what? If he was trying to take the rights back for Ninja Turtles, and they may be available with IDW is stopping publishing them right now,
right.
It looks like. And he was like, listen, I want to do a new Ninja Turtles. I really want to make this happen, especially if he said he was ComicsGate. We could put $500,000 or $1 million on that campaign.
It would be amazing. It would be
a story there.
And what a great story. I mean, coming full circle back into it. That would obviously
imagine
be exceptional.
the stretch goals there. That would not be a bad thing.
And this is Mitchell pointed out too that they didn't show any of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. They seem obsessed with these punk rock buttons. They got them up here at the top instead of the comic.
Yeah.
And then there you don't get to
Yeah,
see any of
exactly.
the
With the featured
pages.
tier is like you don't need to have a $12 punk rock button.
Yeah, that should see the buttons to me should have been a stretch goal.
Yeah,
That's the perfect stretch goal. Make the buttons a stretch goal, and at 25K you get the first punk rock button, and then on up the tier until you collect all of them. That would have been exciting for people. As it is, and it shows. I mean, these are two guys with massive name recognition,
hmm.
and off to a pretty
Even
slow start.
and even the subject matter. Like if they had just gone with a character, like still
Yeah.
totally twisted tales is like, all right, it's some kind of bizarre horror
Yeah,
type of
it's a
thing.
collection. I think it's 3 stories, and the anthology type things are notoriously hard. They're hard sells.
Unfortunately for Eastman, I think he's a multimillionaire, so I think he still has a couple of dollars left. So
Yeah, no, I think
that's
they're going to
important.
do great.
You know
I
what? He had
the
some book. I'm trying to remember what. Oh, Melting Pot. That was the name of it. That came out after the Ninja Turtles. It wasn't a big book, but it was something he was passionate about doing. That would be, if he had a project he was really passionate about doing, and he could talk about doing that project, that's where it starts to become really exciting. I mean, even for some of that, for myself, I'm not used to talking passionately even about the stuff that I'm working on.
right,
It's a little bit of a process because that's it's just not normally how you communicate when you're a publisher, and even when you're coming up with stuff, you're not normally communicating directly with people about what it is that you're making. I'm working on
yeah.
GI Jackrabbits now, which is like a dream come true for
Ooh,
me. Yeah, because it's my renewal from when I was 15.
it's
Um,
fun, dude. I
yeah,
love it.
and then we rewrote it. I worked on it with Professor Geek, and we just actually today. Well, there's one more last revision, but we had like 20 character sketches. It's a huge cast. It's very complicated, but I should say it's very ambitious.
Yeah,
But it's fantastic. That I'm going to be
the
able to talk about
updates, man.
endlessly.
The updates on the character designs are looking
Oh yeah, you
fantastic.
saw a
Really
couple of
loving
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we put a
yeah,
couple of them out. It's hot stuff. It's very cool. The
yeah,
art is
dude. It's so
great.
good. I think it's just it's just like Rainbow Brute, right? There's sometimes you just hit it just right and it connects with people in this
Yeah, it
weird
clicks.
way. And you can never really predict what that will be. But
Oh, cool.
I think with that project, you've done that. I think you're going to connect in that crazy way with people.
That's really cool. Your chat is so cool. Joe is saying hi, Joe. Jay Fairclough. Good to see you, man.
Yes.
Adam is on
Nice.
your level. We got to start raising our standards too, man. We are on the same level. We could do better. We could do better. Well, thanks for saying I had your respect. It's funny even to hear
Oh
because
shit.
when I was a publisher back in, yeah, Kate's is live
We
streaming. Oh, we'll kill him.
we should, man. Should we snipe him? Oh, that'd be
We can
awesome.
if you want. We can talk shit
I
about
don't. I
Kate.
mean, nah. This is about you. I mean, it would be funny, I think, but
Yeah,
Jesus.
well, the thing,
Well, let me.
the only problem with him is Kate's is he's.
Oh,
Oh, did we
right.
get
He
knocked
might
out?
attack. He might go on the
No,
attack.
he's not. We don't care if he attacks. But what I'm saying is like he's like I don't like watching people that are mentally ill talk a lot.
Mm.
Just as a personal thing, it's not healthy. I'm telling you. If you watch Charles Manson, he is amazing to watch. He's incredible to watch. He can create
Yes.
like a conjure incredible visual imagery and has incredible energy.
Yeah.
He's absolutely insane and completely dangerous, and he's aware of some of what he's saying and some of what he's doing, but some of it he's not. It's totally wild, insane, like magical stuff to watch, but it really will start to rot and damage your brain if you watch it for more than 5 minutes. So just
Agreed.
these people, especially people that are openly on YouTube telling you they have a depression, anxiety, it's like, well, why the F am I listening to you then?
I know. It's like, and then, of course, at the end. But make sure you surround yourself with positivity. It's like, oh man, what is going on? This is how you're going to launch your YouTube channel by telling people that you basically walk in circles and are depressed all day.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not someone you want to admire. At least lie
it's
to
not
me.
a good look.
Yeah.
It's not a
No,
good look. Oh, and what grand story are you going to tell me next? And what wisdom Is that
Yeah, how
story
do I
gonna hold
accomplish
for
this?
me?
How do I accomplish this for myself? Now, the Wolf of
Oh
Wall
man.
Street guy, Jordan Belfort, has a YouTube channel, and he
Okay.
has some life advice, which is a little like, he did get arrested for doing Wolf of Wall Street scam stuff. So I don't really like that part of his work, but he has some sales presentations that he does that are freaking excellent. They're excellent.
Yeah.
Learn
I
a lot.
bet.
So I've
I
watched, and
bet.
I've watched and studied some of his work. It's like people have things to contribute. Now, I've never read anything that Donny Cates wrote. I've heard people said that they liked his writing. Do you know what he wrote that was supposedly good?
Can no, I haven't either. I don't know. I'm assuming there's some level of talent there. I mean, I know that Marvel has standards have sunk severely over the years, but I mean, the guy must have something to offer.
Leave Cates alone. Talk about Gru and Pacific Comics is what Mitchell said. Jay Fairclough, I really appreciate your support sincerely. I really do.
Oh
And
yeah.
my point I was going to say about something that Jay was saying, like I've had people compliment me on my integrity and my focus and what I'm working on and how I help other people. And the truth is, when I was a younger guy, when I was first publishing and I'm 21 years old, I didn't think in those terms. It was all about like, let's make some money and let's make it as quick as we can. Let's keep the money coming in. We think of ourselves first and stuff like that. But then as
Right.
you get a little bit older, you start to realize like, wow, these relationships that you make, these investments in people, the investments in strong stories and content, like that stuff actually is really, really, really valuable. And, to this day now, like me and Tucci know each other. I'm the one who I turned down from back in the day. And we were
Oh.
we were
Oh
introduced.
no.
Yeah, because
Oh
girl
no.
books didn't sell. That was why. And that's what I told him. And that's how I felt. That was true at the time. But that was also that type of thinking of like not doing something great. It was just making sure we do something that's commercial that works immediately,
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and that's kind of like the hardcore of what you have to do if you're covering the bills and you're covering, the overhead.
Sure.
You have to make sure that the
Sure.
money works. And if you don't have a vision for it, the truth is, like for me, I didn't have a vision for it. It wasn't appropriate for me to do it if I didn't know how I was going to, like, what was I going to add to the process anyway? So good for him that he kind of went off on his own and had, so much success.
I think that's what people connect with you and relate to you because you're very willing to share your experiences and open to talk about it. But you have such a level head about everything. Like even, the average person might be like, "Oh, I missed that tremendous opportunity with something." But the way you approach it and think about it is very healthy, you know.
Yeah, you have to. Everything, there's a way to frame things in terms of being successful or being, actually it's something that Trump had said before he was president. He gave some great speeches. And Norman Vincent Peale was his pastor that he saw every Sunday, who was like this incredible guy on just thinking in terms of success and how to like discipline yourself. So one of the things that Trump had said was, and I always think this way, think of yourself as victorious. Like always put it in the frame set of victorious. Like how did you just succeed? How did you just succeed? Because like with College of the Dead book 1, it was not a huge success, but it was a moderate enough success that I could publish the book and build this whole platform. All this
Right.
network, these relationships really have this opportunity to really perform, which is why I
Yeah.
came back a second time with a good book again. But this time I knew like, no, I need a better trailer. I have to have a killer, serious.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Starblades. I looked into getting like something on Starblades level where if you saw it, you would just fall over and you'd have to buy it. Not practical, but also I looked at getting something that was just plain serviceable, like kind of a
Yeah.
plain video with someone talking and like a typical thing that we typically see. And I was like, well, I don't really want to do that. Is there something in the middle I can do that might be affordable? Then I worked with Ted Zagaro. I saw the trailer that
Yep.
he did for Vinny, and he did an
Yeah.
exceptional trailer. I mean, I
It's beautiful.
love the trailer. So I know that,
Yeah.
all right, I got a good trailer. Then I was also, well, prior to that, I was thinking like, I want to do color because like Deathsworn's not black and white. There can be amazing black and white books, and College of the Dead book 1 is a great looking black and white book, but it's not like, it's not Bernie Wrightson. It's not taking the medium and making it incredible. It's just good
Right.
for a black and white book. I've done this a long time. Black and white does always sell less than color, unless it's some sort of clicky fan favorite-y thing. And it's like, you know what? That's a 1 in a million. So just make
Yeah,
it
there's
beautiful.
only the only book I intentionally have purchased from CG in black and white is Xenotype, and I had the choice.
Yeah, they're
And
doing black and
to me,
white
it was just I
and
love
color.
the renders. I love the black and white renders on that book.
Yeah, that's going to be a great looking book.
Yeah.
It's going to be very expensive to produce, but Liam's prepared for that. He has his numbers and he knows what he's doing. But for someone to start from scratch and even break even producing Xenotype, they need much
Oh
more money than
man,
that. That's a 200-page book. I was
that
talking
was
to Liam about
insane,
that
dude.
when he was publishing, like when he was talking about his plans, a few months ago. And he's like, yeah, it's going to be like 200 pages. I'm like, why don't you just do at least 100 pages? Why are you
Right.
killing yourself with that? And he's like, no, it's how we have to tell the story. And he's like, don't worry, I have other plans. So he's going to have it covered. But yeah, but that's the whole point. Like for me, I'm not doing it. If we make a movie or a TV show, whatever, or toys or whatever, fine. But my focus is successful comic book publishing business model. I want to publish College of the Dead and have it be profitable. I want to publish College of the Dead again in 6 months and have that be successful and bigger than this one. And then again, in another 6 months after that, every 6 months, a new 48-page graphic novel.
Yeah,
And
dude. The
to do
progression.
that,
I mean, I'm pretty impressed with the progression on your campaign. Graduation Day is doing much better than the
the
previous
first one,
installment.
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean,
the previous one did like $3,000 in 30 days. And
yeah,
this one did 16,000 in 30 days. So it's at least 5-1 better.
yeah.
So I'm not expecting that necessarily we're going to end at 25,000 after 60, like 5 to
I think
1.
you will.
It might. It
I
might.
think. Well, I think with your in demand time, and I
Well,
think
that's
you're
another thing.
absolutely.
In demand last time, it took in demand it was 6.5 months to do another $5,300 because it's funny we did like 100% more. So that was 6.5 months. This could end at 25,000. It could be 20,000, could be 25,000, whatever it is, at the end of 60 days. But we'll probably do another 5 or 10. I mean, I would think we'll do at least as much as I did on book 1.
You
As I
will,
have
because
more exposure.
don't you have some surprises up your sleeve still
Yeah, I do have a
for the
couple of
campaign?
tricks.
Yeah,
We do
yeah, you're
have
gonna
more
get it
tricks.
done.
Plus, we have spring break. I was just the artist. Stefan is already working on the rest of the script for Spring Break, which is College of Dead Book 3.
Yeah,
And
love it.
the artist is supposed to start next Saturday on the pages for College Dead Spring Break. So the plan is I'm going to be shipping College of the Dead Spring Break January of 2021. This one, shocking.
Nice,
And then June, we're going to ship this current book.
nice.
Yeah, it's got to be on that schedule. So I work with my guys to make sure we can maintain the schedule, keep the pages going.
Yeah, yeah. So, are you familiar with the CG Rorschach test?
No, I do not know that, but I will take a
Okay.
look at it.
Everyone who comes on my channel has to do the Rorschach test. So
I've done
we're gonna
Commie Mark's stupid games, so your Rorschach test sounds a lot more normal.
yes. So we're gonna. Okay,
right.
so whatever pops in your head, we're just trying to get
Oh, was I supposed to pay attention? You have
assess
to do
your
it
no.
again. I
We're
wasn't
gonna
watching.
we're
Oh,
gonna
we're
that
do it
was
again.
just
That was just the intro.
that was just the intro. We're gonna drop some ink
All right.
blots for you, and whatever pops in your head, whatever it makes you think of, let us know.
All right, let's rock it. Ethan Van Sciver. I don't know why I thought of that. This is interesting. I've never actually done a test like this. I'm
Are you
thinking of a
seeing
bat.
that?
I'm just thinking of a bat, not Ethan Van
Okay.
Sciver.
I would hope not. That would be a little bizarre, actually. Okay, next one.
Um, let's see. Two people touching hands with crazy red hats.
All right, nice. For some reason, when I look at this, I
Yeah.
see it. To me, it's two bears like high fiving.
Bears? I
Yeah,
think
I
of them
don't
as
know
kind of
why.
like chubby or older women with like a weird red hair
Yeah,
style.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm
Cool.
getting.
All
That's
right.
cool that you have Rorschach tests. Are you licensed to conduct these tests?
Oh, I'm absolutely licensed, 100%.
Okay. Um,
And we've got a supercomputer that will make an
analyze
assessment
them.
at the end. Yes.
Oh, good. Um, two bird people doing a drug deal.
Mm, very interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I think I
right.
just admitted to something.
That could very well be.
All right. Let's see. Looks like an alien, I think.
Mm,
Alien guy.
okay. And one more.
One. That reminds me of the Rorschach Watchman guy.
Mm,
I don't know if that counts though. Probably should.
whatever. There's no wrong answers.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
wrong
We'll go with
answers.
that. We'll go with that.
Okay. So we're gonna feed this in to the supercomputer and see what we get. You ready?
Yeah. But
There you
Mario?
have it, dude.
Main thing I was
You're-
thinking of
you're,
was that they were not social distancing.
right.
That's
These
what I was thinking.
my Sharona times we're living in. Yeah, it's a whole new world. I think we're kind of looking at one of those situations where it's going to be the world before this and the world after
Well,
this.
they want it to be that way, but it's not
They
going to be
do.
that way. We're not going to let it.
I
It's
hope.
not going to
I
be.
certainly hope not. I hope that that is not allowed.
The
But
good guys
you
knew
know,
that the bad guys had this coming. It's all a little bit too convenient, so it's going to get worked out. Base is right.
thanks, Skits.
Yeah, that's right up
Appreciate
Skits' alley. It's crazy as anything. Skits is like, yeah, all right.
That's right.
Totally Skits.
Good stuff. No, that was fun. So yeah, Sexy Undead is basically
That's what it came.
what
The
yeah.
computer says it's sexy undead. All right. The computer is right on target.
It's right on target. I
Very
also, I've come across a few things that I thought might be worthy of Adam Post Simpin Time.
Adam Post torturing. Let's do it.
So
Torture that
I
post.
thought this one here, I actually think is almost majestic. The beauty of it is it kind of blows my mind. So
All right. Is it Wenger?
no, I'm not being facetious at all. I'm being quite serious. This is pure beauty to me. It's like this woman is amazing.
What the hell is she doing there?
What? She's a ballerina, and wow.
That's impressive.
I'm just kind of like mind blown.
Can Cecil do this?
Well, I would like to think that he does this as a warm
Oh,
up.
look how
every
cute. Her
morning.
daughter's a ballerina too.
Yeah.
I'm
I
impressed.
mean-
That is impressive.
Yeah. I wasn't being sarcastic. I was kind of like in awe of that.
I think you should always be half sarcastic.
Well,
Because then it's like
those
somewhat
are-
truthful.
those are CG rules. Yeah. I mean, half sarcasm is you kind of almost have to wear that as an armor if you're coming into CG territory. You can't be too vulnerable or
Yeah, they eat you
you'll
alive.
get wrecked. you'll get wrecked. And you know, I think
REKT.
this is a big problem. I think with people that are going to try and come into this space into YouTube because comics are collapsing, the industry is failing.
Sure.
We're going to have these people come into this arena and they don't understand. They don't understand internet gay. They don't understand how this works. You know
I'm
that
sure
it's
Ro
not.
will happily introduce them to internet gay very quickly.
Yeah, it's not just because you're getting a lot of pushback on something. It doesn't mean it's hate. It means that you might just be going through a hazing phase. People are seeing what you're made of. They're
Well, I
testing
did a
your
live.
metal.
I did a live stream. Now that you mention it, it's interesting because I did a live stream a couple of days ago, and it was on the Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane was interviewed by Forbes, and Bleeding Cool ran an article talking about what he said. And Todd McFarlane had given some advice about comic book stores and things that could be done with the industry. And I thought all of his advice was, I thought it was ridiculous, really, because he was saying things like, well, the leaders of the publishers should be speaking with one voice right now. It's like, well, you're actually the publisher, like you're the head of Image. It's Marvel Image, it's DC Marvel Image, like, but anyway, but when I was doing live stream, yeah, I was having some fun doing it, making some jokes here and there, and I started to have some of the chat give me some shit and joke around like, "Oh, Adam is so old. He was there when they built the pyramids," and then someone's like, "No, he was busy like building Stonehenge. He didn't have time for the pyramids," and it was
Right.
actually a lot of fun, and it was like, that's how you're kind of making it. You're making it. You're with the chat. They're having fun with you. You're having a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah, Skits.
And I
You don't get. There's the whole Skits. Are you listening?
What are
Skits.
skits?
What we're saying right now is you don't get hazed until you hit a certain level. You hit a certain level, and that's how
You'll get there.
Yeah, you'll
Trust me, skits. Your time is coming.
Yeah,
It's coming.
People know Skits. No, it takes a little time till people get comfortable with you, and they're like, oh well, let me see if I can tease this person if they're cool with it, and they have some fun,
Yeah.
and it's also for the reactions of the other people in the chat.
Hold on. I mean, skits. I do refer to you as the Bob Ross of ComicsGate. So
I don't know
that's,
which is Skits.
That's a little bit.
Is that Mr. Skits or Mrs. Skits? I don't know.
Miss it. Well, I've watched several of the live streams where Michael's creating artwork live, and he just puts you in that vibe of Bob Ross, where he's relaxing you and kind of soothing you, and you're seeing the art being made, and
that's cool.
It's just so sexy. It's not. I mean, it's a little bit. I'm poking a little bit of fun, but who doesn't love Bob Ross? I mean, the guy's a legend.
He is a legend. Are you going to make a book? When are you making a book? It's got to be in there somewhere, Rot 10.
It is. I'm a writer. I actually, way back in the day, I had a book published through Image Comics, no less.
Interesting.
It was a Viking mythology book. But life happened, and I had to do other things to survive, and kind of lost touch with comics. But no, Ink Spots. He's the colorist for Cash Grab.
Oh, cool.
And he's a great artist. We're hooking up to do a project for sure. Early stages, but
cool.
Yeah.
It's good to talk to people about doing projects to see sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's just chemistry with people. I like the idea of even starting though with a 48-page color comic because it does justify that minimum $25 price point, and then you're kind of in the game. I'm really not. I'm not to denigrate anybody's projects that are like, 32-page comics or whatever. But that Richard's trying it with Pandemic. I guess it's a smaller format. I think it's 32 pages, but
it is cheaper.
Yeah, but it's all rough with 32 pages of $15. Sort of like just do the extra, whatever it's going to be, 16 pages, and get to the level. Or I think it's also though interesting how he's starting with that smaller price point. Because we do need to test lower price points as much as we can, but I think the magic is in the shipping, so that's what I'm going to conquer.
It is.
I will conquer the shipping.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about that too. I feel like there could be something like a CG Central, right? That maybe, let's say, any project that goes over 500 backers, CG Central commits to buying, let's say, 300 copies of that book, just lump sum, right to their campaign, at a discount price, and then we create kind of a CG Central store where people can, down the road, buy these books all at once. You can load them up, 10 CG books at a
Well,
time.
what
But,
Peter
there are
Peter's
problems that arise with that.
yeah, there's all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
But Peter Simeti is launching alternative distribution, I think next month. And what that's going to be is he'll take anybody's crowdfunded books. If he thinks he can resell them, he'll buy them at a discount and resell them to retailers and direct to consumer. The problem is not that Peter's not trustworthy. He completely is, and he's very upfront about what he's doing. But the problem is you want that relationship with your customer. And as much as I like Peter Simeti, it's I have a couple of hundred backers between my first two campaigns. I'm not going to tell them if they want a copy of my book to go buy it from Peter Simeti. I'm going to tell them to buy the book from me because I'm going to be doing more of these books. So I'm not going to be referring customers over to Peter Simeti because I want the relationship with the customer. And all of us publishers, unless we're not serious about what we're doing, really should not be giving away our relationship with our customer. We didn't go direct to consumer and raise money on crowdfunding, and go on all these YouTube shows to get people excited about our comics just to send them over to someone else to resell our comic, but also other people's comics. Because we all, in ComicsGate, it's a little different. Like ComicsGate publishers, we support each other. So if I was having a problem making a goal, or I had any kind of problem that I could possibly have, there would be 30 guys that were like, oh, wait, let's see if we can help Adam out with this. And they, in 2 seconds, and we're the same way for Phil over with Magic Cop, and whatever, Carla with White Knight Comics and Grim Reaper. Like, Vinny's trying to get to 30,000. Like, I don't know if he got there yet or whatever, but we're all trying to help him get to 30,000. Well, there's your Magic Cop. Very cool.
Very sexy.
Delicious.
I like to rub it on myself. It's a very velvety. I love what they did with the cover.
Yeah,
they call that naked.
They call that.
I like to get naked with it.
It's just because Phil signed it.
Well, that too.
But so that's ComicsGate. Where people are out there in a network, we're endorsing each other, we're supporting each other, we're backing each other up, and that's what that is. Now, you add in a guy like Alterna, he's a great guy, but he's not worried if I don't make my goal. He's not thinking about that.
No, of course not.
It would bother John. I mean, he cares.
I do have to say now, when it comes to Alterna, like what you're providing backers of your campaign is a top tier quality collectible comic book. Mm-hmm. What Alterna would do then they do newsprint. They do the cheapest possible.
But he used to do I don't know if he's still doing it, but he used to do graphic novels that were printed on better paper, that were collections of their books.
But like Clint Stoker and Downcast, that's the deal that, as I understand it, that Clint is handling the high quality collectible book, and Alterna is doing the newsprint cheap. And it's like these are two different customers in my mind.
Yeah, Jay Fairclough is saying as a businessman he has 300,000 followers, but he treats his fans as family. They made him, and without them, he wouldn't be anything. That's why he always keeps a good relationship with his fans. It's true. That is your fallback position. That is your backup, is the people that want you to succeed. And, that's never to be taken for granted. But what I'm saying about Alterna is that there is the spirit of ComicsGate, but it's different. Well, they're not. When he says he's ComicsGate, he's ComicsGate. And that's a little bit different, but he's not quite there yet. But even with that, publishers should be selling direct to consumer themselves on their first book. Agree. They should be doing sequels, and they should be then doing more sequels. But when you do your sequel, you better have your first book available for offer. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I think we did at least 100 books from College of the Dead book 1. I mean, we only sold 200 books the first time around with College of the Dead book 1, or 209 books, or something like that. That means we've got a lot of new backers, and it means we've got a lot of people that came back. So that's growth. So I need to do College of the Dead 3. I need to, which we're working on it. We're going to get that done. It's going to ship on time, just like 1 did, just like 2 will.
No, I think you're completely right, man. You got to build your own platform. You got to nurture that relationship, and I think your customer, when it comes to ComicsGate, I do actually agree with you that I think your customers should feel confident that the only place that they will be able to get that book, that product, is
from the creator
you directly.
That's what makes it.
you.
That's what makes it legitimate, really. Now, if we wind up collaborating together on some kind of a mail order service or a destination or something like that, maybe there's some possibilities with that. There's a lot more for us to figure out first, such as, if we're shipping Micah Curtis's Englewood and Super Harem, Deathsworn, Monster MD, if they're all if some of them are shipping around the same range, maybe some of them could ship in June, and then the ones that are ready to ship in July ship together in July. You're talking about being able to save like a considerable amount of money and effort if we're able to combine a couple of shipping orders. That's
maybe have like a quarterly ship schedule.
Well, we can even do monthly because we have enough titles, and it's not always going to overlap perfectly. But
maybe
for example,
you're right. I mean, there are a lot of books, man.
There are a lot of books. There's a lot of stuff in progress, and anybody who has a problem with production, with a member of creative or whatever, like the artist isn't turning in stuff on time, whatever it is, my friends already know they can always bounce questions off of me of like, well, Adam, what would you do in this situation? And I'm glad that they do, because I've published more than 1,000 comics. And so I know what's tenable and what's not, realistic in terms of getting stuff done. Sometimes you have to pay people more. Sometimes you have to terminate people. Sometimes you have to be patient. Sometimes it's not a realistic situation, but you always have to know how to communicate and solve problems.
I love that you use the word terminate.
Yeah, sometimes that's really
fantastic.
It's almost
Adam
like that.
Adam Post, he's fucking surgical, bitches.
The Terminator.
He will do what needs to be done. He will terminate.
Because the thing that people don't understand too is like, look, if someone is doing a part of the project and they're not communicating, they are disappointing fans. They're screwing up, the artists. There are other people that are working on the project. They're trying to plan out their lives. You know what I mean? It's if you're in charge of managing that project, you've got to make sure everybody understands what they need to do and when they need to do it, and how, if it's affecting other people, like how much it's going to affect it. Jay Fairclough sounds cool. You hit me up when you want to, brother. Hit me up when you want to, brother. If I can help in any way, let's do it. If we can make money, let's make money. I'm all about it. But that's the other thing about the network of ComicsGate is there are actually things that I'm not good at, believe it or not. There's a couple.
No, Adam
true.
Post. Come on.
But the fact that we have access to so much talent, so much creativity, so much enthusiasm. I would not have been going back to do G.I. Jackrabbits if it wasn't for the enthusiastic response I got from people who really cared a little about me, more even so about the project, that just they saw the recolored cover of G.I. Jackrabbits, the same art, same line art, but new colors that Kyle did. And Kyle was like, "Oh, when are you doing this? You should really do this. This is cool." And I see that you love it. And, I got so much encouragement.
It's good.
And then I reached into the community and grabbed up Professor Geek, who has a great channel on writing and really knows and loves comics. And he's an editor and he's a professor. Always great to work with a writer who's also a professor, because they're very good communicators. So him, another guy that I work with who writes College of the Dead, is also a teacher. Very good people to work with. In any event, it was a big time sucker of a thing, but we reworked and collaborated totally on rewriting GI Jackrabbits, but I couldn't have done that without the network of ComicsGate. People don't understand how valuable it is.
It's a yeah. It's
the way that we help.
It's a chauvinistic pig attitude.
That was the wrong clip.
All right,
I apologize. You know what was supposed to play?
What's that?
Because I love this guy. It was supposed to.
Strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass.
That guy's.
I
freaky.
wanted. I was saying, strut that ass.
Oh, that's funny.
Strut that out.
A couple of people have been picking up the original GI Jackrabbits. Mitchell tracked the original one down so you can compare them. Mitchell, the first 2 pages were good, but you'll see the character descriptions. We just had to kind of rework the characters a little bit. But when I was working with Michael on GI Jackrabbits, we were kind of sorting through what was already there. He was like, "These are pretty well developed characters. This is kind of interesting." He's like, "Actually, seriously, there's a lot of good right there." So we just kind of built off of that.
You got. I think with GI Jackrabbits, you've found your golden goose.
That's going to be our.
It is the thing.
That's going to be the big one. Well, we're going to do a good
I
job.
think College of the Dead is your foundational. It's your marathon runner. It's your long distance. It's the consistent, sturdy foundation. But GI Jackrabbits is going to be that supercharged thing that just kind of excites people, in a way. And it, everyone, if you could, everybody wants that one thing that does that. If you can come up with that one idea, that one concept that gets under people's skin that way, that's what everyone hopes for.
What I really like to do is I really like to work with these creative teams. And once I start, I never want to stop. Like, why would I stop doing new College of the Dead books? I like the story. It's so well received. Yeah. It makes money. I think the campaign through in demand, when it's done, it could do as much as $35,000-$40,000. It could do depths more numbers.
Sure.
And then
how far are you pushing Spring Break? I got to ask you. Are you going to push that? Is Spring Break going to really push the boundary? Because what does Spring Break mean to people? It's kind of pushing young people, pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable.
Well,
breaking the rules. Are you gonna explore that? Are you going
Break
for it?
The main focus on you know what? I'm gonna set up by my get the curtains rocking. 1 second.
Oh, we're getting curtains, folks. This is getting serious. He's not messing around tonight. If he's bringing curtains on, we know that shit's about to get heavy. It's going to get hard and heavy. Kumquat glorious. How's the chat doing? Where we at? The fuck? The fuck? Oh man, I'm assuming something happened in his household. He's like, I gotta have my curtains. If I'm gonna, you're muted. You got. It wouldn't be an Adam Post stream if we didn't have some technical.
Yeah, you gotta have the curtains. You gotta have the curtains.
Dude, I'm actually honored that you.
Yeah, we broke out the curtains. It was a special show. You gotta do the curtains. So we're going to push Spring Break just in this way is in Spring Break, we see one of our characters, Haley, before the apocalypse. She went on Spring Break. She wasn't supposed to go. She parties there, and because of what she did and how she partied and the choices that she made, she put a lot of people in jeopardy. And we then kind of flash back to present day. And it's all part of the current story. And we saw in College of the Dead 2, we see Brendan's story. He is drinking at a party. This is before the apocalypse. And he hooks up with a girl. They're hot and heavy. They've both been drinking. All of a sudden, she gets uncomfortable, runs off. And then he runs off after her to be like, hey, what happened? What's going on? And she's telling her friends that he attacked her, and he's like, hey, I never did that. We were just having a good time. And then the zombies attack, and then they're separated. And then he goes and tries to find her and rescue her and talk to her That's his like whole mission throughout the book. There's a whole cast of characters doing a whole bunch of things
Cool, man.
in the book.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
I love Spring Break. It just sounds like so much fun, and I hope
yeah,
you're
Spring
gonna.
Break is going to
I
be
hope
cool.
you're gonna. I hope you're gonna push those boundaries and like
Well,
be a
there's not
little risque.
we don't do anything with nudity per se, but there's definitely
No,
gonna
I
be,
don't. I'm
there's
not
going to be
interested
fun.
in nudity. I'm just interested in like, you know, I think the opportunity for some, interesting scenarios relating to spring break behavior and then
Yeah,
zombie
there will
outbreak.
there will
It's like
be.
there's a lot of stuff there that could really work.
We wouldn't be doing Spring Break if we didn't have a way to kind of weave it into the larger story. Even
Yeah.
though it is a college aesthetic, all the
Yeah.
college aesthetical things have to relate to story and our characters' character arcs, and we have a way to do it. And that's why I've worked with this guy Stefan, because he's. It was my basic idea to do it, and I kind of came up with a thrust for it. And Stefan's like, "Hey, that's a really good idea. Let me work on that," and he can really execute. So for me, I really like working with these creative teams. I love working with my artists, with Stefan, who's writing College of the Dead with me. Michael is great, Professor Geek. And the artist has been doing a great job on character designs. He's been doing character designs for a couple of months now. It's gone on way longer than I would have thought. But that's the thing that's why I like to have the books finished when I launch the campaigns, because you would think it wouldn't take that long sometimes to get things going. And sometimes everybody does everything right, but things take longer than you thought they would.
Yeah.
And they sure did, with this. It really did. I was like, wow, it was, I had no idea how ambitious it was to do what we were trying to do with G.I. Jackrabbits, even though I have all this experience, but we wanted it to all be right. So
yeah, dude,
it's a lot of work.
It's going to pay out, dude. It's going to pay out big time.
Yeah. And just to create, just even the experience, even if we didn't make money doing it, just the experience of working with these creators is tremendous. And if you don't kill it on one thing, you kill it on the next thing.
Yeah, no, this thing's gonna skyrocket for you, and I think fans they're appreciating the fact that your work is finished when you launch a campaign. There's nothing in the back of people's brain saying, "Well, maybe I will never get this." When it comes to an Adam Post project, you never ever have to think about that because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not even the realm of possibility.
No, it isn't.
We're preparing another project for launch very soon, and this one actually is completely done also. It's a 48-page full color graphic novel called The Mermaids, and it's Game of Thrones with mermaids, but cooler because they're fighting. So it's all female mermaids. It's a whole royal cast. There's like 30 cast members. We spent a couple of years working on this, me with like 2 other writers and 3 other artists with character designs. I thought Game of Thrones was really cool. I was like, what if I did Game of Thrones with mermaids? And I started talking to a couple of creators I knew, and we developed what it would like, character designs of what some of the interesting mermaids could look like, because they're not just all straight up mermaids. We have like a shark mermaid, and we have octopus mermaid, and a couple of like a dolphin mermaid, and just some other cool variations on it. And I found an artist that did these great character designs of fairies. He just drew these beautiful fairies.
Yeah.
And that's what made me realize, like, you know what? I could probably just tell this guy, give me an octopus mermaid, pay him for it, and he'd come up with something brilliant. And that actually happened. This guy, Jerry Gertrudia, I think he's in Indonesia, but he wound up doing a ton of design. I had planned to have him do like 5 or 6 designs, but each one was just great. So I was like, all right, we'll just keep doing more of them. And we just wound up with a ridiculous, like 30 or 40 designs from Jerry. And most of those characters, like, I don't know, 80% of them made it into the book, I think, but definitely not all of them because there's just too freaking many of them. But that one's going to launch. We'll see. My focus is get College of the Dead done first. But you'll see the trailer all of the trailers are going to be really cool. People are going to really like what they get to see.
So I've got something special. I've got something special to show you. I think you're going to appreciate this one.
Hmm.
This is next level. basically.
All right. Next level's good.
It may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared. It may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
What do you think about that?
She seems like a Trump fan.
I don't know if she's a Trump fan or she's mocking Trump.
She's a Trump. No, she's a Trump fan. She's guaranteed she's a Trump fan.
She's
People
wonderful.
can't. People who don't like Trump can't absorb that much Trump. It's very upsetting to them. He's very, very disorienting to them.
But that was what an exceptional way to show off how fucking intensely hot you are by doing the Trump voice, finding a context for it.
Right, the right clip.
Doing a play on like we're in quarantine, so we're eating a lot, and it's gonna get your ass might get bigger, and she it's already the most bulbous, beautiful ass you could ever imagine, and it might get bigger.
It might get.
And
bigger.
I'm assuming Trump was talking about the whole coronavirus. It might get bigger.
I don't know.
I bet you that's what it was. This is these are all quarantine. The quarantine memes are getting crazy, Adam. They're getting insane.
Are they?
That. I mean, you're on. Here's
I'm
something
on
I
Twitter.
wanted to
I've
ask
seen
you.
some
How
stuff
the
going
hell? How did the Wang cast? How did you connect with Wanger? How did that come about?
Wang crew.
Yeah.
Well, Wanger had been on Ethan a couple times. Ethan's show a couple times, along with me. We were sort of around that same Wanger area. Ethan had Wanger on a couple more times than I had been on, because at least at the whatever mode I was in and whatever mode Wanger was in, and what Ethan was looking for on the channel, Wanger's very funny on Ethan's channel, and Ethan knows how to have fun with Wanger and how to have Wanger do silly, really funny things for his channel. So they had been doing that, and then I had done some videos, but then my campaign had just completed. I really wasn't doing live streams on my own. I wasn't doing as much content steadily on my own. And Wanger invited me to, along with other people, to be on his show as he could building up his platform. And I made it a regular thing. Like the only thing I was doing consistently was going on Wanger's show every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. EST. So
look at that. Look at how professional he is. Dropping the day and time. Like, look at that. This is how it's done, folks.
That's my schedule. That was that's the schedule.
Folks.
So to me, it's very, his schedule is important to him, but to me, it's good too, because people get to see me on a regular basis. I know I'm always going to be able to be there at that time. So it's just good. Yeah. It's good exposure for me. It contributes to his show, and it's just kind of a fun thing. So, that's sort of how it came together. And for me, if I commit to doing something, I'm going to be there. I'm going to do it, because that's just the way you do it. I was on John Malin one show a couple of weeks ago on a Thursday, and I couldn't be there. I told Wanger in advance that John had a spot. I had to go on John's show, and he understood. And Ethan filled in that show. Ethan made a point to be there on Wanger's show, which was great, because that way, even Wanger does show, did shows before me. He'll do shows if I wasn't on the show anymore, he'd do shows after. They'd be great shows, but you get sort of a rhythm going when you have some of the regular people on, Yeah. So it's I didn't want to see Wanger not have a good show, but he had a great show. I wasn't there. Carl wasn't there. Carl's a regular on his show, and he had a fantastic show. So he did better without us. That's the secret of success.
Oh shit! I don't even know. I'm not sure what this means. Rot, I will fist you. Drink.
Oh,
I mean, I
that's
think,
a compliment.
Okay, but in a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I can't say that I've ever been fisted in a good way.
Well, Adam? This is your opportunity. That's your opportunity.
This is my opportunity.
Yeah, you have to see everything as an opportunity.
Fisting has never been a good thing.
It may mean something different than you think it means. It's possible.
Maybe it does. I'm hoping. Oh shit, man. Well,
If he's going to do it, then he'd better put a ring on it. Let's just put it that way.
We've covered some great topics. We've gone over a lot of.
We figured out that Kevin Eastman is doing a shoddy campaign.
It's a fake. It's not crowdfunding. It's a store. He's got a great product. It's not crowdfunding.
He might have a great product.
Get a clue.
We trust him.
Well, we trust that it's a solid project. I'm sure it is. But get a clue about crowdfunding, man. Look around you. It's the internet. Just figure it out. Just
reach out. Like, hey, I'm Kevin Eastman. And what's your thoughts on this? I mean, there are actually plenty of videos on it. Even just he could be watching John Malin's show. He could crowdfunding comics, Sweetcast.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shows,
resources, man. Figure it out. Fucking do some research before you open a crowdfunding store that is about as boring as the stream maybe right now.
No, the stream is very exciting. We had a good time.
So I want to give you the opportunity to. Do you want to drop into your campaign? Do you want to talk about anything? Let's promote. Let's get slutty with it. If you want.
What I'm trying to really do is I'm trying to build up my subs, man. I'm getting close.
Oh, are you close to the 1,000 mark?
I'm close to the 1,000 mark. I mean,
that is exciting. Hold on, let me get to your.
I'm not super on the cusp of, but I'm getting there.
Dude, I know. I've been doing this long enough. This is hard work, Adam.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Hard work building a YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast. But damn, I don't know if people realize just like how much consistent work you have to put in to build a platform. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it probably should be a lot of work. It's not a bad thing. It's like,
Agreed. It is. It's like a filter. It's a built-in filter almost.
It's a built-in filter.
Yeah, it's like if it was too easy to get there, then we'd be overwhelmed by
we wouldn't have good content.
Donnie Cates would be winning.
Donnie Cates would be exactly. He'd be the king of the castle.
Good. You don't want that. So I'm going to post a link to your YouTube
let's post
channel.
a link to my YouTube. That would be great.
Let's do that.
And then my website is the campaign is at collegeofthedead.com. So that would be cool for people to check out.
Very nice.
And the other one is at adampostspeaks.com, and it redirects to the YouTube.
You make everything so easy.
We want to make it easy. The easier, the better.
That's so key, man. This guy drops wisdom all the time for everyone. He
just
shares
keep it
his
simple.
Knowledge. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple and don't worry. Don't be worried.
Make it
about
hard.
Stuff.
Don't make success hard for yourself. Don't
make it easy to win. Easy to win, baby. Easy to win. We're at 925 subs. It's pretty good.
Damn, dude, you're on the brink, man.
75 more, and we are in the glory zone.
It's gonna happen. We got to get you that little one viral little video, and it's over.
Yeah, just have to do a few more.
Maybe,
we'll do a few more
dude,
videos.
get with Frega Boom and do a rap video.
That's actually a really good suggestion.
where he rocks, and you're just you're doing terrible. Where he's kicking it, and you're just failing. I think this could go viral.
Might be quite the opposite. I actually have to finish something. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm supposed to be doing. Oh my god.
Adam's like, he just realized, why am I wasting time on this guy's channel?
No, not at all.
I have a lot of work to do.
No, but I'm not gonna. No, you know what? It's there's a lot of cool stuff, and I've been really ComicsGate's been so terrific and so cool, and they really make it easy. There's no game playing. It's just like, hey man, do something great. Just go do something great. And the other thing too is you get a boost from the big guys. Everyone who deserves a boost gets a boost. The White Lily guy, Preston or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't demand a boost. You can't tantrum your way into a boost. If you want a boost, if you want support, you got to come, as expression goes, come correct. Just be straight with people, be cool, and everyone will look out for each other. I've recommended other creators to other people with small channels like mine, and we've helped people out, and you get built up, and then the opportunity comes along to do bigger opportunities and things like that. And Ethan and John, I'm sure they're watching out, and they want to see people do better on their second campaigns than their first campaigns. They want to see that people aren't developing a reputation for doing weird stuff in the community because it's damaging to the community. And so it's just keeping it positive and supporting other people. And the other thing too that like people don't know in ComicsGate is if you do a stream like interviewing somebody and you're helping somebody, even just the intention is there to help somebody, other people see it who are influencers like within our group, even the small influencers. 5 or 10 small influencers is really all enough, for you to, if Deadwood Dale thinks you're cool, that's actually enough now.
Right.
Basically, you're cool. If Vinny thinks you're cool, if Adam thinks you're cool, it's like, that's more than enough, to get that boost and to get things moving along. And as long as people don't expect to come into ComicsGate automatically and raise, $25,000 or $50,000 out of nowhere because you have some great idea, it doesn't work like that. Dan Fraga is on Ethan's channel all the time because it's more important that Dan Fraga does 100,000 than it is that for me, even then I'm more concerned that Dan Fraga does 100,000 than I am that I do 50,000, because I'll do 50,000 on the second campaign if I don't do it on the first campaign, my third rather than on the second. Doesn't matter. It's going to happen, and I'm making money either way, and I'm doing more projects no matter what. But Dan Fraga, we need him to succeed immediately. This is
why you're so valuable, and it's, I hope everybody understands that. It's so funny that you say that, because there are certain people, if they have to, for the rest of us or any other people to succeed, they must succeed.
Yep,
like it has to happen, because it's such a bad look. It would be so crippling if they did not succeed, that it would hurt everybody below them.
Now, the thing that
you understand this, and that's I think that's really cool.
It takes a while to learn the dynamics and understand how everything operates, because like I do the Secrets of the ComicsGate Network series, and there's like 30 videos or something I did on that already, and I'll do more. But
so good, man.
Thumbs
thanks. Up to that. It's really people appreciate it. I'm sure you get messages all the time. People appreciating that.
I get some thank yous, and it's good because it just like it dispels some of the stuff.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is to be on someone's channel is an endorsement. So it's the same thing as if you're running a campaign and the local newspaper says, yeah, Adam would be a great governor. Someone else says like, oh yeah, this Chamber of Commerce says, yeah, Adam would be a great governor. The local restaurant that everybody loved says Adam would be a great governor. And they put a little poster, vote for Adam. That's a big deal, getting those endorsements. So when somebody comes in from outside ComicsGate and they're like, well, I have a good comic, don't you want to support me and give me your customers? Like, well, what you're asking for is an endorsement. So we have to know what you're about if we're going to endorse you, because our reputation is tied to your reputation. And we have to see. I was just listening before to Ethan and Fraga on Crowdfunding Comics, and I didn't get to hear the whole thing. But the more I hear from Fraga, the better. He's talking about, he's making comics from when he was 13 years old, and he loved comics. He beyond loves comics. That's who he is comics. I mean, he's exactly like the core of what we want.
He is, dude, and you can tell he's going to be generous. He's going to platform other people. He's going to promote other projects.
As long as he
completely understands what this is about.
Yeah, if he understands that whole dynamic, and he's able to, it's no matter who you are, it's nerve-wracking when you're launching your campaign.
Of course.
And if it's not, then you're not caring about it.
Even the bigger you are, I think it's almost more because there's more potential.
It's a bigger number to have to hit.
Yeah, I bet Ethan was just dying before Wreck Planet launched. Dying.
He was like straight up emotional when he saw. That's why, like, if Ethan wants people with him when he launches a project, you always see me there. That I'm in that room that he sends a link into. When he's launching a project. So if he wants me there on Fraga Day, he knows, I'm sure. I'll
I
make
can say
myself available.
just doing this stream with you today, you're very comforting, man. You
Oh, I
put me at
appreciate that.
ease. I mean, I still have some nerves
Stop
about
acting so
doing.
crazy.
I still have some
You know.
nerves about doing this.
No, that's fine. You do good. The more you do of it, the more it's second nature, and you don't even think about what you're. You don't think about that as much as you're just talking to somebody. It's not a hard thing. And then the more you do, the easier it is. But yeah, you do a great job with your thumbnails are great. Your stuff goes
man.
around. Everybody's chill with you. So
I'm trying. I just want to contribute. I want to add to this network and help it grow. That's to me, being ComicsGate is contribute to the network. If you're doing that, then I am confident that you're ComicsGate. If you're hiding ComicsGate in the corner and you only bring it out when you think it might help you, that pisses me off.
It's really it's really obvious and it's really not cool. And that's why I think Peter Simeti is great. I'm always supportive of him. Like in tweets, he was talking about some of his issues with dealing with Diamond and some recent decisions he made to cancel 2 months worth of their orders with them because he doesn't know what's going on with them. And I would support him, to the end. At the same time, he's not part of the network because he's not part of the network. If he's having a problem on a campaign and he asks for help, I'd help him. Any one of us would help him, I'm sure. But at the same time, you're either in the network or you're not in the network.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in the network, it's really, it's just you're not. So it's just a network. It's not a cult. It's just we want to help each other. So if Sweetcast had, he hasn't said anything to us, but if he said, "Listen, guys, I really want to try and get my number up on my most recent campaign," or "What do you think of this?" or anything like that, we drop everything. You drop everything for everybody else in the network, and everybody's going to get the number they deserve. It's part, it's how hard you work. It's how you got to present yourself right. You have to be a good listener. You have to have that work ethic. You get a little bit lucky, but as long as I like to talk about Carla from White Cat Comics and Grim Reaper because they didn't ask for any favors. They came out. They worked hard. They got Grim Reaper 1 to $1,795. So that got funded. They had a personal tragedy with a fire. They still shipped their damn book. They came back.
Oh, okay.
That was them. That was them.
I didn't make that connection before.
I tell their story I tell their story almost every stream because it's such a good example of why what we do is so important. Then they came out with Grim Reaper 2. And I think it's at least twice the number now. I don't check it every day, but it's, at least 3,700. It's in demand. They're still raising money on it.
And White, their channel is gaining a lot of traction.
I was on their channel this week in an interview. Her husband asked, I think, his name John? I think it's John. Well, sorry, I just always remember Carl. I always see her on Twitter. But in any event, he was asking great questions. It was a good interview. I had a lot of fun talking to them. But the whole point is, they're out there keeping their promises. They shipped their book. They did a sequel. I'm sure they're going to ship their sequel on time. Then they're going to do a Grim Reaper 3. And then they'll ship, Grim Reaper 2 looks great. So, and they're disciplined. They're ready to work. They're ready to tell you why they are passionate about comics. They're ready to help other people. They're ready to be supportive of other people. And they're happy to double their numbers like that. So when they come back with Grim Reaper 3, if they told us, look, guys, we really want to try and get Grim Reaper 3 to $10,000, especially if they tell us before they launch. And by us, I mean me, Vinny Tartamella. Vinny's much tighter with them than I am even, but me, Vinny, whoever, Liam, a few other of us guys, and they're like, look, let's all kind of have a little meeting and talk about how to hit that number. Of course we would help do that. And then when they're ready to promote day one, if they want to have one of those live streams where there's jumping onto 4 or 5 different streams day one and just push, we'll help. We'll absolutely help. As long as they keep delivering on what they're promising, why are we not going to help each other?
Of course.
So that's the value of the network. You can't pay for that.
And I love the word network. A lot of people people have been down on the word community. I can't disagree with that. I don't mind it myself, but I think
You know how I differ?
network
Network is, yeah, I've been hearing
is
Ethan
so
use it
it's so
too.
precise and
Yeah.
correct in what this is.
And
know.
language, being precise with language is really important. Communication
Yeah.
is important. People understanding each other is important. People, I think, also understand with a network, there's an obligation there as well. Like there's an opportunity, but there's also an obligation.
So key, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a
you hit
mutual.
it on the nose with that. That's exactly right. It's an obligation.
Yeah. So the obligation is that you do your best and keep your promises. And should someone ask you for help that you can give, you give it. And
Yeah.
you give a F of what happens to somebody else who's also in the network. That's all. That's what it means. A community is similar to a network, and the way I define it for myself is this: is my Ethan's community. Ethan's part of my network. We're on the same network. Ethan's
Yeah.
community are the people on his channel that are really like that's his personal customer base. You know, the people on my channel, my personal customer base. Now, if
Right.
he invites me on his channel and he's endorsing me to his customers, that's like him inviting me into his fine restaurant to sell hors d'oeuvres. So I better not
Smart.
poison those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better not poison those customers. You know, that's
get
his
it.
restaurant. You know,
Yeah.
and he'll tell me what the rules are and what I can say and what I can't say, when I can come and when I can't go. But he's not making any
Yes.
rules for me for the larger network.
Yes.
So it's
And that I
our
love
piece.
I
Yeah, our
love the
piece of the
distinction
network is
because
the community. You
I
have to
love
have
the
a distinction because people
I love the
misunderstand
distinction
it.
because when you say it's Ethan's community, the community of EVS doesn't have an obligation. They can buy or not buy. They can support or not support. They can ridicule or not. They can engage or just listen. They're not obligated to do anything. They're a community of people that are there because they like something similar. But the network, if you're in the network, you do have an obligation.
Yep,
So
and you have an
I think
opportunity.
I think you've really nailed it. I think you've really defined it well.
Yeah, and it's I was saying this when I was on a show with I think I was on Adam friended with Ethan and John, and we were talking about we were just talking about this stuff in general. I think, and the point I was bringing out was that it is an endorsement from each person whose channel you're on. So no, you can't just jump on my channel like out of nowhere, and there's no entitlement for it.
Right.
And my channel is not even a big channel, but no, you can't just jump on Ethan's channel. You know that he's raised $500,000 on Cyberfrog Wreck Planet because he cultivates all those customers. So
Yes.
that's like he cultivates that, like he puts a tremendous amount of energy and effort into it. And if anyone had like respect for someone else, they would realize like, yeah, the opportunity is great to be able to be on his channel if you can win his endorsement, but you have to win the endorsement. You don't just demand it. Yeah, you don't just demand it. And then the truth
you
is
certainly don't expect it.
No, you can't. You can't. You shouldn't expect it, and it should be obvious. But for anyone that says that they're ComicsGate and the network feels good about them, they can expect that they'll get onto my channel eventually. They'll get onto your channel eventually, and then there's 25 other channels. I have a list of them.
Nice.
That'll welcome people. Like our small channels, our little cute channels. But the thing is, if you get on my channel, you get on the Rot 10 channel, and you get on Vinny's channel, then you're going to get noticed by other channels, and the people that are in the chats know who you are, and they look forward to you, and they retweet.
Yep.
So that's how it takes a little while for people to learn how. Yeah, it takes a little while to see how it works, but once you kind of get to see how it works, and then people understand. The most shocking thing about joining and working with the ComicsGate network for me was seeing how welcoming everybody was. I was like, there's no one that's going to give me shit. There's no one that's going to give me a hard time. There's no one who's going to be like, I don't know. I don't really like
you
this guy.
you take a lot of shit, but it's all in fucking. I think it's all in love.
But I think it's incredibly nominal. And like we were saying with before,
no, it's because they do like you. I mean that you take shit because people actually like you and respect you, and they appreciate your role that you're playing in this network.
Yeah, there's nobody's. It's unbelievable. People have no idea how welcoming it is. It's just that because Ethan has to fight the big battles for everybody, and
He
he's
does.
always
Oh man, I can't imagine.
he's always out there, but he feels
imagine.
passionate about it, so it's a good fit for him.
Yeah. All right, man. I really enjoyed this conversation. I got to tell you,
Yeah,
I
it's a
was
pleasure,
looking
man.
forward to it. I hope that we can, maybe make it a semi-regular thing. I think
Do it again.
I think we talk well together. I think we
Absolutely.
did a good job.
We can give people a hard time together.
I'm posting
people
a link to your campaign again
Very
here
cool.
in the chat. And do you have anything
Let us
to
pray. Let us just pray that Adam Post Speaks gets to 1,000 subs, and then we will be reborn. And Easter's right
It's
around the
gonna
corner.
happen.
So
Is that super chat territory?
word is it is. Word on the
All
street
right,
is
man.
it is.
Because I'm sure you have the watch hours.
I think you get a lot of discipline. Oh, I do have the watch hours. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do by now. And the live streams are great for watch hours. You build them up. Really quick.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah,
that was like
I know.
400 hours. What? So yeah, that's really the way to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I think the super chats really discipline you. I think once you have them, it'll be interesting. It's like you've got to be good. You've got to be good to really.
You got to be
hold
on it,
people's
man.
attention.
It's a whole different ballgame. It's intimidating. I mean, just doing the Atomic Deuce show that we've started on Friday nights with Ink Spots, and it's a lot to juggle, man. When you're running that show and you're trying to engage the chat,
I think
and you're
one of the tricks
got
that
all
I've
these
noticed-
guests, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, one of the tricks that I've noticed is that you just want to not be trying too hard. You really do have to just relax, and it's got to be that when you do the show, it's really not work. Like it takes a certain amount of energy, but it's not a chore. It's got to be fun, and the chat's so cool. The chat helps make things
You're
fun.
right.
They come up with ideas and things like that. So you don't want to put on
That's good advice, man. I notoriously am a person that tries a little too hard, and I recognize that and accept that about myself. But I think CG is gonna beat that out of me.
Yeah, well, they really. I have found that I'm more and more and more of my best self working with the group.
Yeah,
They just keep you on the straight and narrow somehow. It's really funny.
yeah.
And I also recommend watch a lot of Cecil. Nobody freestyles like
dude.
Cecil.
Done. I mean, that's easy.
Yeah.
Check mark. All right, man.
Cecil,
I really appreciate everybody.
It's a pleasure.
Go back, Adam Post, College of the Dead, Graduation Day. He's got great projects always on the horizon. This guy is a true professional, incredible ComicsGate. This guy
I'm a
is
resource,
just doing
brother.
it all. Yeah.
I'm a resource. I'm just trying to help all you other guys get things going, and I'm thrilled. People like my books. I'm thrilled to have them get them. I love the College of the Dead logo up there. It's very cool.
I appreciate you coming on. I had a great time talking with you. Let's do it again. And
we'll make
thank
it
you
happen.
for the chat. Thank you for the chat for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great night, everybody.